Morning children. So we are into our next lesson and that is food. Okay. So the lesson that we are going to deal now is about food. So we know we eat different kinds of food. Okay. We eat different things as our food. And we all need food. Isn't it? Everybody in the home. Our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our grandparents, if we have pet animals, even they will be eating. So everything on this world need food. So why do we need food? And what will happen if we do not have food? If we do not have food, it's impossible to live. We will die. Okay, if we do not take food for a long time, we will even die. Okay, so food is important for everybody. Okay, now why do we need food? We know we are very small now and our parents, teachers and all are all very big, isn't it? So we need food to grow. Okay, so we need food to grow. Right? Now, we love playing with our friends. We love playing with our friends. And after playing a while, what happens? We become tired. We do not have any energy. We will go into the home, drink some drinks, milk or some juice or something like that, or eat something. And after a while, we will be energetic again. Okay? So if we have to play or if we have to do some work, we need energy. And that energy we use to play or do some work, we get from the food. Okay? So for energy is the second reason we use food. We eat our food. Okay? Then sometimes if we have to lift the bench in the class or if we have to get a bucket out of with some water inside it, sometimes we will not be able to move it. Okay? But if we are strong, we can easily do it. Isn't it? So that strength we get from the food we eat. Okay? The strength of the body we get from the food we eat. Okay? So the third reason is for strength. Okay? So these are the basic reasons by which we eat our food. So to grow we need food, to get the energy to do some activities or actions or playing games we eat food, and if we want to do something we should be strong. Okay, for that strength also we eat food. So we eat food for different reasons and we have different kinds of food. Okay, so based on the purpose that we have for which we eat our food, we have different kinds of food. So in that, the first kind of food is known as energy giving food. Okay, so we said to play, to do the works, we need a lot of energy. Okay, so what are the food that we get energy from? So those items that we get the energy for doing your activities include sugar, butter, bread, oil, rice, ghee, potato. Okay, so these items, sugar, butter, bread, oil, rice, ghee, potato, etc., they have carbohydrates. Okay, they contain what? Carbohydrates. Okay, then fat is the other thing. Ghee, oil, and butter. Okay, ghee, oil, butter kind of food has fats. These carbohydrates and fats together, carbohydrates and fat, they give us the energy. So we get energy to do the work from the carbohydrates and the fats. Okay, so carbohydrate carrying food are potatoes, rice, sugar, bread, etc. So they have carbohydrates. Then butter, ghee, oil kind of food has a fat inside it. So we get energy from these kinds of food, and that is why we call it energy giving food. Okay, so these food items give us the energy to do the work, and that is why they are called energy giving food. The second category is body building food. We have seen here, isn't it? We have seen here, we need to grow. Okay, as we grow, the bones inside our body, the muscles inside our body has to be fit, has to be strong. Okay, so a better or a strong growth of bones and muscles is what helps us to grow, and the food like dal, egg, fish, cheese, pulses, etc. help us to grow. Okay, so what are the food? Dal, egg, fish, cheese, pulses. Okay, dal we know, egg, fish, cheese, pulses. Pulses means this red gram, green gram, Bengal gram, black gram. Okay, so these kinds of food actually help us to grow, and they have proteins for that. So what helps us to grow? Bodybuilding food contains protein which helps us to grow. Okay, so children should take a very good amount of protein rich food every day. They should eat dal, egg, fish, cheese, pulses, kinds of stuff every day, because their body, they are very small, they are growing stage, and they need a lot of protein so as to grow. Okay, so they should regularly eat it. Okay, now the third kind of food is protective food. So the third type of food is protective food, or we can say for the strength. Strength in the sense, see, we may sometimes get some illness. If we are not healthy, we will get some diseases or illness. So there are two things which helps us from being ill. One is vitamins, second is minerals. So most often we fall ill basically when we do not have enough vitamins and minerals in our body. If vitamins and minerals are there, they can help our body, they can protect our body from different kinds of illness. So if we do not want to be ill, if we do not want to have a fever, a cough, or something like that, a disease, what should we do? What we have to do? We have to eat food with the minerals and the vitamins. Okay? So which are the food items which have got a lot of vitamins and minerals? fruits and vegetables. Which are they? Fruit and vegetable. Okay, so fruits and vegetables have a lot of vitamins and minerals, and they can help our body from being attacked by diseases. And there is one particular thing called milk. Milk is usually known as a wholesome food. Milk is usually known as a wholesome food, and our parents at home also will always force us to drink food, this milk. Na? Every day we should drink at least 1 glass of milk, especially small kids. Why do they force you people to drink milk? Because milk has fat. Fat means what? Energy giving. Okay, milk has a fat, so milk helps us to give energy. Okay, again, milk has a protein. Milk has a protein, so it is a bodybuilding food. Again, milk has vitamins and minerals. So that means it is a protective food. Okay, milk is considered as a wholesome food because all these 3 kinds of items are there in milk. Milk helps us to get energy because it has a fat inside it. Milk helps us to grow because it has a protein in it. Milk helps to protect our body from diseases because it has vitamins and minerals. Okay? So all kinds of food are important to us. Like we need carbohydrate, we need fat, we need proteins, we need minerals, we need vitamins. So all these components are essential for our body, and we should have all these items in our food. We should have all these. We should include carbohydrate in our food. We should include fat in our food. We should include protein-rich food. We should take a lot of fruits and vegetables to have a lot of minerals and vitamins. So the food which has all these 3 components in a balanced way is called a balanced diet. So balanced diet has carbohydrates, fat, protein, vitamins and minerals. Okay? So a balanced diet is a diet which has all these components inside it. Okay? A balanced diet is a diet which has a fat in it, carbohydrates in it, protein in it, vitamins in it and minerals in it. Along with all these things, we need to drink a lot of water also. Okay? Yeah. Only then it becomes a balanced diet. Okay? So water also is a part of a balanced diet. So if we make it sure that we have a balanced diet every day, then we can make it sure that we are healthy. No problem with that. Okay? Now, what are the sources of our food? What are the sources of our food? The major sources of our food are both plants and animals. So we get food from both plants and animals. So what are the food that we get from plants? We get fruits, we get vegetables, we get pulses, we get grains. Okay, so we get vegetables, we get fruits, we get pulses, we get grains, we get spices. Okay, we get all these kinds of food items from plants. Okay, and what are the food items that we get from animals? We get meat, we get milk, we get egg. Okay, we get meat, milk and egg as food from animals. Okay, so the major sources of food are both plants and animals. Some kinds of food we get from plants, they are fruits, vegetables, pulses, grains and spices. We get some food from animals, they are meat, milk and egg. Okay. So the food that we eat is actually divided into three. The food that we eat is actually divided into three based on the time factor. Okay, based on the time factor, the food that we eat is actually divided into three. The first thing is called breakfast. Second is called the lunch. And the third one is called supper. Okay, so breakfast, lunch and supper are the three kind of food that we eat in a day. Which are they? Breakfast, lunch and supper. Now, when do we eat breakfast? We take breakfast in the morning, isn't it? We take breakfast in the morning. So the food that we eat in the morning is called breakfast. So what's the breakfast? The food that we eat in the morning is called breakfast. Now, what is lunch? Yeah, lunch is the food that we eat at the noon time, or the food that we take in the afternoon is called lunch. Here in school we have a lunch break. No? In the afternoon we have a lunch break. So what do you mean by lunch break? The break that is given to eat our lunch is called a lunch break. So why it is called a lunch break? Because the food that we eat in the afternoon is called lunch. Okay. Now the third is supper. Supper is a food that we eat at night. Okay. The food that we eat at night is called supper. So the food is divided based on the time. The first is called the breakfast that we eat in the morning. Lunch is the second one that we eat at noon or afternoon. Third is supper that we eat at night. So most often what we do is we cook our food. We cook our food. Okay. Fruits we eat raw. Fruits are eaten raw. We need not to cook. Raw means without cooking. Some vegetables also we can eat raw. Like a cucumber or carrot or radish or beetroot or tomato, we can eat it raw without cooking. But other food usually for rice or rice we cook and eat. Na? Why? Yeah, we cook food to make it soft, tasty. We cook food to make it soft and tasty and easy to digest, or we call it digestible. Okay, it has to be digested, and only after digestion our body will get the carbohydrate, the fat, the minerals, the proteins, the vitamins and all. Okay, if it is not soft, we won't eat it. If it is not tasty, we won't eat it. If we do not eat food, we will become ill. Isn't it? So we cook food basically to make it soft, to make it tasty, and to make it more digestible. Okay? Now, when we eat food, we have to follow some eating habits. So there are something called good eating habits. There is something called good eating habits, and whenever we eat food, we have to follow this. Okay, the first one, we should have balanced diet. If we do not take balanced diet, what happens is we may miss out carbohydrate or fat or proteins or vitamins or minerals. If we miss any of this, even water, if we miss water, it can make us sick. Okay? Always wash our hands before and after eating our food. We should wash our hands. We may be playing in the ground or somewhere else, and there will be a lot of mud, dirt, germs in our hands. And with that hand, if we eat food, all these things will go into our body, and again we will become sick. Okay? So before eating food, we should wash our hands and make it sure that our hands are clean and neat. Second, after eating the food, again the food waste and all those things will be there in our hands now. We should again wash it and make it clean. Right? Now, always eat fresh food. Open and stale food is bad for health. Prepare the food, eat it. And after cooking the food, we should always cover the food with a lid. Because flies are there, house flies are there, cockroaches are there. They wander everywhere, and if they come and sit on the food, and if they eat food, again we will become sick. Okay? So the food that we eat has to be fresh. Okay? We should not eat open food or stale food. Stale food means the food which have lost its freshness. Right? Eat our food slowly, chew it properly. We should not eat it like anything. Take softly, give it in the mouth, chew it well, crush it, crunch it, swallow it. Okay? So we should slowly chew and eat our food. Then, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables daily. We should not avoid any kind of fruit or any kind of vegetables. As many as possible, we should eat them. Right? Then, every morning and evening, we should drink a glass of milk. Every morning and evening, we should drink a glass of milk. Why? Because milk is a wholesome food. Milk is a wholesome food. Then, take your food at proper interval. Every day morning, 8 o'clock, or in between 8 and 8:30, we will have our breakfast. At 12:30 or 1 o'clock, we will have our lunch. And back at home at 8:30 in the night, when father also has come from his office, and when he is also ready, then we will have our dinner. Okay? It should be like that. It should be on a time. It should not be like whenever you want, you will eat. No, that is a bad eating habit. That is a bad eating habit. Right? Then, never miss a meal. Do not avoid eating food. Okay? We should never avoid eating food. Right? So, these are the things that we need to learn about food. And now, we will do the exercise part. Okay?